If you live in Dallas, you surely know Highland Park, but how much do you know about Hamilton Park? It's just 2 miles beyond North Park Center. There sits the neighborhood built for doctors and lawyers and educators back in the 1950s, a segregated blacks-only community at the time.
2 years ago, a shooting occurred, leaving 3 people dead and others injured in a historic black neighborhood known as Hamilton Park during a block party. Founded in the 1950s, the housing development was named after Richard T. Hamilton, a Dallas surgeon and civic leader born in 1869. Hamilton was active in organizations to benefit black Americans that were marginalized. One of his great contributions was when Hamilton brought light to the inadequacies in Texas, eventually renamed House Bill number 255. His efforts paid off in June of 1939 when the legislature approved $20,000 annually for out-of-state education for blacks. Hamilton Park used to be considered the fulfillment of a dream when families began to move in the 1950s, but I know this little piece of history has escaped some of the black population. Suspects named in the July 4th shooting were Juan Lewis, at the time 17, Taquaylin Jones, Bryce Jones, and Akil Anderson. One witness described the scene of the shooting that July 4th evening as a wild, wild west movement with residents running for cover. Coincidentally, Byron Jones, now 21, is the son of Dallas rap legend Mr. Pookie. From the Dallas News, Bryce Jones, now 21, sentenced for aggravated assault after initially facing a capital murder charge in the wake of the July 4th shooting. A Rowlett man who cut off his ankle monitor while out on bail on a capital murder charge was sentenced Tuesday to the lesser crime of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in exchange for 12 years in prison. Bryce Jones struck a deal with Dallas County prosecutors after authorities determined none of the bullets he fired struck the 3 people slain during a 4th of July block party. His attorney, Tom Cox, said he was accused of shooting 2 of the men. Over a dozen supporters shuffled into the courtroom gallery Tuesday morning for the hearing. Jones faced life in prison without parole or a death sentence if found guilty of capital murder. In 2022, he was missing for nearly 2 weeks after cutting off his ankle monitor, authorities said. His attorney had stated at the time Jones had a lapse of judgment after he was kicked out of the place he was staying and was afraid he'd be jailed again because he was on house arrest. He has been jailed since he turned himself in.